Angle of attack was not discussed a lot when I learned how to fly, and perhaps that's why I was a little bit slow understanding it. You might hear, for example, that a wing will stall at any airspeed and any attitude. And that might tend to fly in the face of logic, and hearing that without an explanation is probably why I was slow to understand angle of attack.
Something an instructor told me after I'd been flying for a few years helped me more than anything else in understanding angle of attack. He said to look at the pitch attitude of the airplane, nose up for example, and then look at the vertical speed indicator. If the airplane is climbing, the angle of attack is relatively low, but if the nose is up and the airplane is descending, then the angle of attack is high. It might even be close to the 16 to 18 degrees at which the average light airplane wing stalls. Even with the nose down, you can still stall the airplane if you exceed the wing's critical angle of attack. For example, if you suddenly apply up elevator, even with the nose down, you can stall because the abrupt change in pitch attitude increases angle of attack. A smooth pilot wouldn't do that. A while back, I was flying Concorde's simulator. It was a demanding airplane to fly, but the instructor with whom I was working, Captain Alan Harkness of British Airways, referred me to the angle of attack indicator for some help on making the airplane behave more to my liking. When in doubt, he said, match the pitch attitude with the angle of attack to maintain a status quo. For example, in normal cruise, the angle of attack was a few degrees positive in the Concorde. Match that with the pitch attitude and you maintain altitude. Even though we have instrumentation that reads airspeed, we do need to always have a mental reference to angle of attack, for too high an angle of attack is what leads to a stall. If the pitch attitude is in one direction, such as up, and the path of the airplane is in another direction, such as down, the angle of attack is likely high. In jets, they have instrumentation to show that. In most light airplanes, we have to visualize. I'll regale you with one more Concorde story that illustrates how and why there are exceptions to most rules of thumb based on the characteristics of different airplanes. On a go-around in Concorde, the drill was to apply full power before changing the pitch attitude. This is because the nose was already up. It approached 10.5 degrees nose up, and the application of power would result in a climb. In a citation jet, the reverse is true. The nose is down on a normal approach, and if you apply full power to go around without raising the nose simultaneously, the power will drive the airplane closer to the ground. Both are logical if you think them through, and that's one of the most rewarding challenges in flying, thinking things through and making the right decisions.